Do you carry a bag like this? Or do you carry a bag like this? If you do, stay tuned and I'll show you why you shouldn't. Hello, Jim Murphy for Elite Style Massage. So today we're going to talk about an issue that I see quite often in my treatment room when people come in to see me, and it's the whole having one shoulder elevated. Now, a lot of people that come and see me that carry a bag over one shoulder, they will find that over a period of time of doing it, they do end up with that shoulder being slightly higher. Now, on your upper back here, you've got the group of muscles that most people will know as the trapezius or the upper traps. Most people you speak to, even if they've never done a day of anatomy training in their life, they'll know the upper traps because the traps tend to get short and they get tight and they pull your shoulders up around your ear holes. So the traps, the upper traps and the traps, they go from the base of the skull here, the occipital ridge. So the base of your skull is the first bone in the head there, that's called the occipital. Here's the occipital ridge. Now the traps start there, they go down to the corner of the shoulders, the acromion, and they go right down as far as your 12th thoracic vertebrae or your last rib. So you've got 12 ribs, where your last rib is, if you trace around to that point there, that's as far as your traps come down. Most people wouldn't know anything about the lower traps because they don't usually cause problems. It's always the upper traps, because when the traps are short and tight, they're the ones that pull your shoulders up around your ear holes like that. Now, if you carry a bag on one shoulder, or you sleep on one side, or even if you're doing lots with one side with regards to your tech, you might drive and lean a certain way, you know, there's lots of things that can affect this one particular side. And if you're spending a lot of time with the muscles semi-contracted in that position, you know, when you put the bag down afterwards, the shoulder still tends to be in that elevated position. So when people come and see me, I'll normally release the upper traps, and there's another group of muscles called Levator scapulae that go from the first 4 vertebrae in your neck. So you've got 7 cervical vertebrae in your neck. The first 4, there's a group of muscles called Levator scapulae that go, and they go to the top corner of that scapula. So this is called the superior angle of the scapula, where it goes into a point, and the Levator scapular muscles go there. So when those muscles are short and tight, they also pull and elevate the shoulder blade up slightly. So there's lots going on around this area. Now, if you are doing a commute to work, 45 minutes, an hour, maybe longer, and you're carrying a bag for that whole time over your shoulder, that's a long time to be having muscles semi-contracted. I go to the gym and I might do a set of dumbbell curls for 10 repetitions and put it down. I wouldn't hold a weight and hold it like that for 45 minutes. You know, it does cause problems for a lot of people when they do it for long periods of time. So if you're working in an office or commuting and you're doing something where you're carrying a bag, you've only got to have an iPad or a laptop or a few books in your bag, and it can be a weighty thing to carry for a long period of time. So what I normally get my clients to do is try and alternate. So do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, left side, Tuesday, Thursday, weekends, right side. Because if you try and remember what side you carried your bag on yesterday, you won't. It's just impossible. People think, oh, what side did I carry it on the day before? So try and alternate if you can. The best thing you can do, and I wish I'd have designed and painted one about 15 years ago, was get yourself a rucksack, because you're just evening the load on the shoulders there. Because when one shoulder is doing all the work, you're just going to end up, you know, with just one shoulder elevated. There are other things that can be causing it. Could be coming from the hips and so on. But if you actually do carry a bag or sleep on one side all the time, you know, it's going to be more than likely an issue with your upper traps and your Levator scapula. So get yourself a rucksack. Now there's some quite trendy ones on the market at the moment with nice thin straps. They look quite good. They're not the best ones to get. You need to get yourself one with thicker straps, because the thicker the strap, the more it's evening the load across the traps there, so you're not hanging onto it in certain areas. There's a brand, I think they're called Nobo. I'll put a link up there to the name of the brand that one of my clients got, and they look quite good. I've seen a few, but this one looked quite good because it did have thicker straps. You could fit a laptop in the back of it. She uses it, in one of my clients that goes in and out of London, and quite a few of her colleagues are using these type. But do your own research, have a look on Google, find one that's got thicker straps just so it is evening the load, and you'll find that it will just really take the pressure off what's going on with your shoulders. Because even if you alternate and you know, switch sides, you're still doing a lot of work on one shoulder. I wouldn't recommend just switching to the other side if you have got an elevation of one shoulder, because after a few weeks or months of doing it, you're going to get the same problems on the other side. So again, I'm always trying to get people's bodies back into a point of neutrality, because we need to be neutral as much as we can with the way the body's meant to be. If you're lopsided, or, you know, it just causes problems, you know, around the body, and you might get away with it for a while, and then after years of doing it, then problems will start rearing their head. So I'm always keen to protect the future condition of your body if you can. There's things that you can do with your posture, with the way you sit, with the way you sleep, with the way you stand. things that you do, you know, I always say to people, it's the things you do for extended periods that affect you the most. So look at what you're doing, and if there's any way you can change something to make it better. Okay, so looking after the upper traps and levator scapula, try not to make it so your shoulders are elevated. People tend to suffer with stress and their shoulders end up around the ear holes. If they're cold, they shiver, the shoulders end up around the ear holes. So there's so many things kind of going against these upper traps where they do end up around the shoulders too much of the time. So again, another little video for you guys just to help with your posture, just a little thing that I come across again in my treatment room and have done over the years. So hopefully you're liking my videos. If you can like and subscribe to my channel, it'd be greatly appreciated and be amazing. If you know anyone that might benefit from this video, please share the link with them. I'm sure they'll thank you for it also. And as usual, Jim Murphy for Elite Style Massage. See you next time.